Welcome to Denim-wrapped Nightmares, Tipsy Exchange podcast, where we explore the supernatural series, episode by episode.
Over drinks, we'll discuss the lore, the gore, and what we adore about the Winchesters and their adventures.
I'm Berly, and I'm a new fan of the series.
I'm LA, and I'm here along for the ride. Now let's get tipsy.
Hello, LA.
Hey, Berly.
Last episode was titled Hunter Hirochi. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. I never ended up Googling it. In that episode, Castiel tells Sam and Dean that he's going to be a hunter. He did his bestest.
He did.
He gave it his all. Sam and Dean agreed to investigate a case with Cass, where they found that a man's heart had literally burst through his chest. They discover that there's been more than one odd murder in the small town, and all of them resemble cartoon deaths.
It was cute.
It was very cute. I figured out where Mike, or I shouldn't say I figured out, a lot of people commented. I made a post about Mike Farrell, and I said Mike Farrell looked familiar. He was a big character in MASH.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I recognized him from the TV show Providence, though, because he was also in that.
Today's episode is titled Citizen Fang, and it is the 9th episode and the mid-season finale of Season 8. It aired on December 5th, 2012. We did not realize it was the mid-season finale.
We did not. And even after we read it was the mid-season finale, at first we were like, that didn't even feel like the mid-season finale.
Mm-mm.
But I guess Amelia was the big cliffhanger there.
Yeah. I feel like it's usually something more
dramatic.
Yeah. So that's probably why we were like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
But it does, to me, it's like, I guess because it's a TBD, to be continued, not to be determined. Anywho, this episode starts out in Karen Crow, Louisiana. Is that?
I think so.
Karen Crow. You know that it may have a Cajun something to it, but I don't know. We're in Louisiana, and we're at a Cajun restaurant. I never caught the Cajun restaurant's name.
Somebody called it a gumbo shack at one point in the episode, but then when they showed the sign, it was not called a gumbo shack. It was a very cute sign, though.
Yeah.
But I didn't memorize the name.
Me either.
But it was cute. It was a cute little spot.
It was. Not run down, but like a cute little old school.
Hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Hole in the swamp.
There you go. Well,
hole in the bayou.
Okay.
Because the song
Yeah, I got it.
that we got to hear.
Well, we see Benny. Benny's back. He's pouring coffee for a guy at the little bar area. There's this very cute young woman, and she's telling Benny like she's got to go, and she's reminding him of all the things he needs to do to close up, and he's almost finishing her sentences. They've got a good working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
She's ready to trust him to leave, and he's like, get out of here, go enjoy yourself. This older gentleman I shouldn't call him a gentleman.
Right.
This older man that was sitting at the bar that Benny was pouring coffee for asks after she leaves, I think he said something about her being cute,
mm-hmm.
and asks Benny what his designs are, if he has any designs on her.
I had to ask LA, what? What'd he say?
He's old school.
Yeah.
He's like, what are your intentions? You going after that?
Yeah.
Which we find out he's the young girl called him young woman, called him Roy. And so anyway, the guy's asking about the designs, and Benny Roy says, no, she's more like a little sister, but she's a great girl. You know, the way she's running this place, she's great. And the guy is like, got any, what does he say?
He's like, mind if I take a whack at her or something like that.
Yeah, it's like,
he's like twice her age.
oh yeah.
It's not cute.
Out of your league, bro.
Yeah. But also apparently completely harmless because Benny just laughs and is like, sure.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot, man.
Now, in the midst of all this, Benny does walk around and pour coffee for one gentleman at one of the booths. And we see him and we recognize him. And it's good old Crazy Martin.
And guess what, guys? We don't find out what happened in Albuquerque.
Nope.
And we're never going to now because Martin's dead at the end of this episode.
Just spoiler alerts at the beginning of the episode. Amelia's back.
If you haven't watched it yet, why are you listening yet?
Sure.
I mean, just when we saw Martin, I was like, Albuquerque, we're going to find out. It's a season of flashbacks. We're going to get a flashback to Albuquerque. We're going to know. Nope. Wasn't even mentioned.
Nope.
I'm so disappointed. Also, we found out Martin's last name in this episode. Maybe we found out last time, but it's Martin Creaser.
Yeah.
There's one of the operating camera guys is Brad Creaser. So I'm kind of like, hey, Brad, are you happy this is the character they named after you?
Right. Was that your choice?
Did you say, yeah, sign me up?
Give that crazy guy my last name.
Go for it. It does sound good, Martin Creaser. Like, that does sound good together.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. But yeah, I got a chuckle out of that. I was like, I wonder if he was like, yay.
I was for the beginning of this, I was into Martin. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, crazy Martin, let's do this.
It was fun. Yeah.
But it takes a turn.
Yeah, he pisses me off.
It shows that Benny heads out. He closes up the restaurant, heads out, and we see that Martin is actually hunting him.
Mm-hmm.
He's following him.
I'll be Sam Winchester. Tracking.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
Distinction.
Keeping tabs on,
Yeah.
I think is what they said.
Observe and report. Only.
Exactly. Oh, but yet he has a knife on him and he's ready to go.
Yeah. I did like his jacket.
Yeah, he looked good.
Mm-hmm. He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good.
So as Roy is tracking, as we say in quotation marks, he hears a scream, runs in that direction, and he finds the guy that was sitting at the bar who was after Elizabeth, who we find out.
The creeper.
Neck slashed like from a vampire, and he's dead.
Yep.
And Martin falls right on top of him.
I was very upset at first.
I know.
I was like, oh no. But then as the episode went on, I was like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. He wouldn't shit in his own backyard, so to speak.
Right. And it's Benny.
Yeah.
You know? I will say I watched this episode before Berly did, so I almost liked doing it to see your reaction, because a lot of your reactions were mine as I was watching it by myself. So it was kind of fun to be like, I was like seeing behind the scenes. Genuinely, like every time your reaction, I just kept thinking, oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I did. And then right at the one part, remember I told you I couldn't look at you.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to start crying and I couldn't look. But anyway, we'll get there.
I kept it together.
Right after that, we switched to Sam and Dean. Dean's coming out of a cute little burger joint, I think.
It was so cute.
You
It was
liked
a little
it, yeah.
drive. It was a little drive-in.
Oh, that's right. Dine it. Yeah.
They had the sign for the drive-in, and so he was bringing out the tray. I was halfway expecting him to hang it on the window. You know, I was halfway expecting that when he got in the car, but that didn't happen.
I wish we still. I mean, I know technically Sonic's like that, but I wish we.
I think In-N-Out Burger. I think they ask if you're going to eat in your car. They give you something differently, but I've never answered yes to that question, so I don't know what they give you.
Listen, I have a public service announcement that anybody who thinks that In-N-Out is so great, it's just because you haven't had Whataburger.
I like In-N-Out better than Whataburger.
Shut your mouth.
I know.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Anyway, back on track. Enough about burgers.
Yeah.
So Dean comes out. Sam is on the phone with Mr. Martin Creaser, we find out. And he's telling him all about this vamp he's been tracking. And so he gets off the phone and tells Dean, which Dean had a huge tray of food, by the way.
Right.
And Sam's like, we gotta go. We gotta get going. And Dean's like, can I at least finish my burger?
Right.
Which would totally be us. We're like, they can wait.
Yeah. Let me eat.
Sam tells him about the situation. And of course, Dean's in the mode of, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way it's Benny. And Sam says he told Martin to keep track on Benny there, keep tabs on him, because he just knew Benny was going to slip.
He's not only not happy that Sam's been having somebody track Benny, but he's not happy that he had Martin doing it.
Yeah, he said, I forget what he called crazy, like insane asylum Martin or something like that.
And not only did you put Martin on him, but it's like his first case out of the mental institution. No, in Sam's defense, he was giving the benefit of the doubt that Benny's probably harmless. That
True.
Martin's probably going to be fine. This is going to probably be a really good entry level back into the hunting lifestyle.
Yeah, just tracking him.
Yeah.
And I think he specifically said he told him not to do anything until reaching out to Sam.
Right. So I follow Sam's logic as to why he thought this was fine.
Oh, yeah.
But then after we see how I'll say passionate Martin gets about everything, I see why Dean was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah. I think that should show Dean that Sam, he gives him a little trust in that situation. But at the same time, I don't think he's wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like he says it later in the episode, I don't know Benny. Like, so you're asking me to trust you, and I want to, but at the same time, he's just worried that Dean's judgment is a little blurred. And again, as his was, like as his was with Amy,
I mean, I guess Sam's doing it in a little more honest. He's obviously doing it in a more honest way than Dean went about it, but.
Well, neither of them really told each other about it up front, right? So
true, but at least Sam didn't go just murder him and just keep that a secret.
He's giving Benny the benefit of the doubt for sure. Yeah,
because he's that sweet Sammy. He looks good in this episode, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Who knows if they got to finish their meal?
Yeah, we'll never find out.
We'll never
find out what happened to that burger.
They go to this motel in Louisiana. I couldn't tell you the name of it.
The Boulevard.
Yeah. I will say for a motel, it was like in this nice little brick building. It looked cool because, I mean, if it was actually Louisiana, but
it was probably a hotel.
Oh, I'm downgrading.
I don't know if the classification that I have in my brain is correct, but in my brain, if the entryway to your room that you've reserved is inside a building, it's a hotel.
Oh, okay.
If the entry room to your room is outside a building, it's a motel.
That makes sense.
I don't know if that's right. That's just how I've always thought of it. So the bar was a hotel.
Okay. So Martin's sitting pretty.
I guess
he's in hotels, not motels like the boys.
Yeah. He saved a lot of money while he was institutionalized.
Yeah, well, yeah. Especially if he's like ex-military.
He had a high yield interest rate savings account.
There you go. So the best part is when they come to Martin's door. He's ready and waiting. They don't even have to knock. He says, "You told me to look for an eruption. How's Mount Vesuvius?" He's like, "Get in here."
I was like, so are we sure Martin's not an angel? Look at the drama.
I loved it. And when I was watching it by myself, I had to rewind it because, you know me, I'm always taking my notes, so I miss stuff. And I rewound it just to see his face, how he did it, and I loved it.
And I did the same thing. I died laughing, and I was like, hang on. I gotta see that again.
I want to start saying stuff like that.
He was like, here's the other thing. I like imagine that before they got there, he was like practicing that.
Oh,
you know, like
he was. How can I get them on board? It's gonna be like, how can I make this?
He rehearsed it in the mirror a few times.
Serious. Like, he's well, and God bless him. He's excited. It's his first. So it's his first hunt. He says, "Boys, I got it. Let's do this."
What'd he say again? Say the line again. Say it hang on, say it just like him and do his face just like him.
Said, Martin opens that door and he looks at Sam and says, "You said to look for an eruption? How's Mount Vesuvius?"
He looked at Dean whenever he said the second part.
And he does like the thumbs, "Get in here." I would have been excited.
Just the way he
I'd be thinking, okay, what are we doing? So once we're over the dramatic introduction.
No, we never get over the dramatics, though.
That's true.
Like
Martin maintains. He maintains. He's said
consistent.
When we were watching it, I said, he's not fucking around.
No.
Well, we'll get there.
And then I was like, are we going to find out what happens in Albuquerque? And LA just looked at me and didn't say anything.
Never. It's never going to
happen.
Well, he does explain that he has been tracking Benny, and he's been clean this whole time. He's been tracking.
He said a little shock therapy in the morning, and I'm
good
my God. To go.
I forgot about that.
And Dean was just
the way he does it, like to the. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Dean for being a little wary.
Yeah, this is who you have following my friend around. Like,
yeah. But he does mention that Benny's been clean this whole time. He's been tracking him up until this week, up until basically last night. So, I mean, Martin got on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's so excited.
He's thrilled.
And Dean, of course, is questioning Martin's sanity at this point. And he asks him to go over what he saw, what he did. And Dean says, so you didn't actually see Benny kill this person? Mm-hmm. And he says, well, no, but I heard the scream in the same direction Benny went, and then there's the body. I mean, what? Come on.
How much more do you need?
Right. Yeah. And Dean's all, I don't think so. He asks Sam, which I'm happy he did this. He was nicely asking Sam, can you give me some time?
Yeah.
You know, and Sam didn't have to.
Mm-mm.
He did not have to give him that grace, but he did. And so Dean asked for a little time just so he could go contact Benny, see what's going on. Because before they left, Dean did say, even though he was upset about it, he said, if Benny's out there, killing people, it needs to be taken care of. Sam's right.
I liked it whenever Dean said, I don't know, it sounds like there's some holes in this story. And Martin goes, the only holes we need to be thinking about are the two in the Vic's neck.
Oh, Martin. He's so good. So this flashback is to Kermit, Texas, and it's Sam and Amelia.
We were like, oh, or I guess I was. You knew it was coming.
I was the same when it happened when I was watching. I was like, are you kidding? This does kind of tie it up, though. This kind of gets us to
now.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
We still don't know why he left her, though.
I think he might be leaving her again a second time.
Right?
We'll see.
Because, like, if they decided to stay together from the flashback, then that gets us to the premiere where they're sleeping in the same bed together in Kermit, Texas, right? But he just gets up and leaves her. Yeah. And again, like, maybe you're right. Maybe Dean did somehow get a hold of Sam, and that's why he left. Or maybe it ends up not working out after all, and they end up breaking up anyway.
I'd almost wish, though, like, they had a better timeline for us of their situation to when Dean came back.
Agreed.
It'd
be nice to have a better idea about the timeline here.
I have a lot of questions. We have a lot of questions.
Like, I have shirts that I've had for over a year that I'm still like, questioning it and thinking, I don't know.
I mean, but to your point, what did you say when she showed up? Or we were saying she should have been alone.
Right.
And you said
she was trying.
She was.
And then that walked in. And it's like,
I wouldn't want to let that go either.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, like I understand where Amelia's coming from. She had been alone for 8 months when she met Sam.
True.
So not quite a year, but I mean, for a while. And then you see that walking around where you're living every day. I mean, yeah, I'm not blaming Amelia.
Hell no.
But I'm saying for Sam, it seems like things moved awfully quickly for him.
He just needed somebody to...
He needed a distraction. And he admitted that in last week's episode.
So yeah, they're at the house that they have together with the dog.
Very cute backyard.
It's a cute house.
Cute little house.
Little patio they're sitting on. They're sitting on the steps up to the patio from the backyard. And they're discussing about how her husband, Don, is magically alive.
Yet again, she does not seem happy about it.
Yeah. She doesn't. She's not giddy, that's for sure. And Sam tells her it's the right thing to do and it's whatnot. And he still wants them to work because they work so well. He wasn't ready to give up on them. Yeah. And she said, can you just give me a few days? I just need to clear my head. So to her point, she was hesitant. She did need to take the time. So after this lovely flashback, we're back at the Cajun restaurant and Dean is there and he is chatting up Elizabeth. He sees a picture on the wall of Benny and Elizabeth together, which is adorable. And he's asking, I had a buddy that I heard is working here, by the name of Roy, has that crappy old truck that's a clunker or whatever. And she's kind of saying, oh, I thought I was the only one that gave him crap about that. And she told him he was originally parking it at the restaurant, but it seemed like she didn't know exactly where he lived, but he said that he was taking off for a few days to go fishing.
I think he lives out of the camper on the back of his truck. Yeah. You know what? I'd still be like, let's go.
Let's hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get in that camper.
There's room for two in there? Yeah.
Shh. What is it? When the camper's rocking.
When the camp, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, I'd come knocking and say, what are you doing in there, Berly?
It's a vampire. And I'd be like, I know, but he's a hungry vampire, and I had something he could eat.
Listen. I would never deny a friend. I'd never deny a friend a vampire. You know me. I was a weirdo as a kid, and I was said, oh, I want it. I like that. I like those vampires.
You did.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. I would not come a knocking, and I'd say, "Get it, girl." However, yeah, she says his truck was back there. He's gone fishing, and Dean gives her his number to, when Roy gets back. But he also mentions, like, if she needs to use it,
Right.
you go ahead and call me.
I told LA I'd be texting it while he was walking out the door.
Right? It's like, here's my number.
I get off at this time, and if you're lucky, you will too.
Ooh. Well, we see Benny down at this creek where he's supposedly fishing, but he's not fishing. There is a body of a young woman dead on the ground by the creek that he is looking at. So once again, we're sitting here thinking, oh, Benny took another one out.
Actually, I wasn't, because he had no blood on him.
Right.
He was clean, and she was not, and it was everywhere. And so that's whenever I kind of started being like, something's not adding up.
But he does dig a grave for her. And once he's done, I think he's at his truck, and he can feel that Dean is there. We don't see him, but he tells Dean, I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
I liked the shot from within the wash basin coming up.
That's what it was, yeah.
When he stuck his hands in there. That was cool.
To get all the blood from picking her up.
And I liked the reveal of Dean here in what you're talking about. Like, he was kind of out of focus as Benny started talking. And then he came into it was cool. I liked this scene.
He explains that it wasn't him, that it's this rogue vampire named Desmond, and he remembered Benny from the good old days, back in the day. This guy's in the area queuing up to have a new nest, and that he wanted Benny to vouch for him. Benny said no, and Desmond said, oh, okay, well, I'll just start killing people till you decide to join. Yeah. Benny reveals that he came here because this is originally his hometown. And he ends up telling Dean that Elizabeth, who works at the cafe, she may own it. I don't know. Who knows? But that is actually his great-great-granddaughter, right?
Oh, just one great.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Benny's not that old.
Well, because I thought when Martin was saying he's like great-great-grandpappy, but anyhow.
You're going to trust Martin over me?
That's true. No, I trust you.
I'm just looking at the notes here, and it's one.
Okay.
It could have said more than one in the show.
I put one in mine, but I remember reading the captions when he said it, and I thought
it was Martin. He's an unreliable source.
Yeah, we can't trust him. But so she is his great granddaughter, but she doesn't know. She's not aware of this, and it was kind of cute that as he's telling Dean this, you could tell Dean's shocked that
he makes a face like kind of grimaces.
I was about to go for that.
I know. I straight up was like, you can't hit that, Dean. And right when I said that, Benny looks over his shoulder and is like, wait, you did not hurt my little girl.
Yeah. So thank goodness, that would have been awkward.
Right.
Dean ends up telling Benny how Sam sent Martin to watch him. So he's got this hunter on his ass who absolutely believes he's the one doing this killing. And Dean wants Benny to stand down and let them handle this Desmond guy. Dean goes back to the hotel, and Martin is flabbergasted that Dean is defending this vamp. His dad would be rolling in his grave. He doesn't say that, but I'm sure he should have said it. But Sam is also questioning, are we really just going to go off trust here? With you trust Benny this much? And Dean says, yeah, out of all this time, Benny has never let him down. He's the only person that's never let him down. To which Sam so bitterly mentions, glad you found someone to trust after all these years. Which, that stings. That stings for Sam. So Sam says, no, Dean's too close to this. He's the one that needs to back off now. Dean tells them that if they go after Benny and Desmond, that they're going to die. Especially Martin.
Right. Yeah.
And so they're in this kind of little argument, and out of nowhere, we see Martin kind of just creeping behind Dean.
Yeah. They showed him go and pick up the knife. And then the way he was standing behind Dean, I was like, ooh, if I was Dean, I wouldn't like that. And then but I still didn't see it coming. It still surprised me.
But yeah, he used the butt of the knife to just knock Dean out at the temple.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Which, Sam, did you really need to cuff him to the heater?
Right. And after we saw how quickly he got out of there, I'm like, didn't y'all know that he would have gotten out of there that
Yeah.
quick? That wasn't going to do nothing?
Also, that's very dangerous. What if a fire started?
Right.
Martin is incensed. He says he can't believe that a brother would choose a vampire over another brother. And he knows how he'd feel in that situation. And he's about ready to just take Dean out himself if he had a right to do it. And so then they're leaving the hotel room as he's in this little
Tizzy.
rant. So Sam shoves him up against the wall.
Lucky boy. I like that Sam was like pissed off in there earlier, which, granted, Dean's been letting you know repeatedly that you let him down. So for him to make this statement that Benny's never let me down, I totally get why that stung.
Oh, yeah.
And everything and why he was mad. But I love that whenever Martin was like going crazy over it, Sam's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Calm down.
He says, hell no.
Yeah.
You're not going after my bro. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be me. And he's like, from here on out, you're listening to me. If not, you're going to be the one that's gone. Something along those lines.
Something dominating.
Yeah. We get another flashback to Sam sitting at this bar, and he's approached by a man that it took me longer than necessary to figure out who it was.
I didn't know who the fuck it was.
Okay,
he went and
good.
sat down next to him, and Sam was acting weird, and I was like, yeah, it is fucking weird. Why is this person sitting right next to you? There's plenty of open seats.
I just kept thinking, is this a vampire from the nest? What are we doing
Did not
here?
dawn on me. Yeah.
Which I knew was a flashback, so it wasn't from the nest, but I was like, is this some other vampire that like knew Benny? Like, what is it?
Is this Desmond and Sam sent
Yeah,
both of them?
yeah.
That honestly, that didn't cross my mind while I was watching it, just so you know. I was like, who the fuck is this? But just now I thought like, oh, it's Desmond and Sam sent him too. Even though I know that's not what happened.
Right. It's not Desmond. It ends up being Don, Amelia's husband. He tells Sam, but they're both in a precarious situation with her. It boils down to that the only one that knows what's best for Amelia is Amelia. And he just says whatever she decides, he will respect it. And he hopes that Sam will as well. But I thought that was an okay way to approach it between the two of them.
I thought so too. I also think that bartender did not like Don because whenever Don first sat down, he was like, hey, like tapped the bar and held his hand up like to give me a drink. And I don't think he ever got the drink.
Oh, really? Because didn't he like pull money out when he left?
He gave it to Sam and told him like drinks on me.
Oh, you need another one. He said you're going to need another one.
Yeah.
That was kind of rude. And then we're back at the hotel. Dean, of course, is picking the lock on his cuffs. He's got blood running down the side of his face.
I
Well,
know.
nice, Sam. What if he had a concussion?
Poor baby.
A cracked skull? I mean, not cool.
Dean can crack me open.
So Dean goes back and meets up with Benny. And I do like that Dean was like, don't underestimate him. He's a badass, okay? He is 6'4". Don't forget, Benny, okay? You may be bulky, but he's tall and strong. He's got those lean muscles. He's got those biceps.
That hair?
Okay. Benny reveals to Dean that he actually did join the nest so that the killings would stop, so that they would stop coming after him, but a little too late. Sorry, Benny. Dean says he's going to go after Desmond himself, and if Benny wants to go, whatever.
No.
Or no, it was Benny.
Yeah, because Benny, I liked how he went, I come with.
Did he? Oh, I missed
So
that.
I come with. I was
Oh
like,
my
oh.
I'd say I come with too. Same time.
So fun when that happens.
But Dean, yes, so Dean and Benny go to the nest. But guess what?
I come with.
I come with.
I come with.
You should make a soundbite of that.
I come with.
I come with.
I gotta find the clip where he says it.
I'm gonna start asking.
I
you
want
that
it to be Ty
when
Olson's
you say you're
voice.
going somewhere.
I come with.
Well, we see Sam. Him and Martin are starting to head out in Martin's station wagon. Love an old school station wagon, by the way.
And it's suitable for Martin. Like
It's perfect.
They do really well with picking the cars for their characters.
So as they're about to head out, Sam gets a text, and it's randomly from Amelia. And it just says, I need help, come quick. Weird, but okay.
Right.
But we know, like, Sam is all about that. So he steals Martin's car.
Yeah, he
Martin's
doesn't
station.
say anything.
He doesn't even tell Martin. Yeah. Martin's like gearing up to get going. We're there outside. He's about to like be putting things in the car. Sam's gone.
Yeah.
With the car.
Just abandons Martin at Benny's already abandoned campsite. Just takes off.
Yeah. Way to stick with the job, Sam.
Well, way to push Martin over the edge, Sam.
True. So at the nest, Dean and Benny are in there, and this blonde, leathered vampire just comes out of nowhere.
I was like, Eric? And then we got a better look at him, and I was like, no.
Where's Pam?
It's not Eric.
That's a better question. Where's Pam? She was fabulous.
Yeah, she was wonderful. She was in the corner judging that outfit and that haircut.
Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he attacks Dean. They're in a scuffle. Dean's talking to him, talking shit. Tries to grab the syringe that he had packed.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to stab this guy, which we're assuming is Desmond. I don't think they ever really said.
I mean, it had to be.
Yeah. Desmond's all, I didn't know Benny was bringing friends.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to stab him with a syringe, and this guy crushes the syringe in Dean's hand.
Yeah, and that's dead man's blood in there, too. I wouldn't want, like, if you got cut and that got, biohazard.
Not good. The vampire slashes Dean's throat a little bit. Not enough to do main damage.
Yeah, it didn't do that much damage, guys, because it was gone by the next
slice.
Yeah,
just a little slice.
Just nicked him a little bit.
He went for his neck, and I thought in that moment he was biting Dean, and I was thinking, oh shit,
he's gonna be a vampire.
Yeah, but luckily Benny came through.
You thought we were gonna get to see this again?
the face smear, but no, didn't happen because Benny comes out of nowhere, grabs the guy, slices that head right off.
Yep, that was a cool decapitation. Yeah,
it was. When Dean stands up and he's got this bloody cut on his neck, Benny goes into a trance a little bit, staring at it. He was real hungry looking at Dean's neck. But, I mean, what a good guy to have the wherewithal.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. To pull back and restrain himself from not doing what is instinctual for him, you know? Which proves right there, he's still Benny. He's still the guy Dean knows. They walk outside, and Benny basically is saying, like, I can't stay here anymore, right? Like, you know, I can't be in my hometown. Dean says, yeah, because once word gets out, all these hunters are going to be coming for you. You need to go somewhere else. You need to go somewhere underground, somewhere where no one is going to know you. Which is, I felt really sad for Benny because he genuinely was just living a quiet life there, and this fucker comes along and ruins it for him.
Right.
You know, he just finally found someone from his family. It's really sad.
Right. And he emphasized how it was, I forget her name, but the girlfriend, whenever he first went clean and stopped killing people and drinking blood, it was her who kept him on track. And then he doesn't have her anymore because of the last, we saw that. He decapitated her too. And then he finally found someone who's keeping him on track, keeping him able to manage the hunger. Because he was saying in purgatory, he didn't have a body, therefore he didn't have hunger. It wasn't an issue for him the entire time he was there. And so to have to deal with that again, he's been struggling. Like he straight up admitted that to Dean, that he has been struggling. But Elizabeth has kept him on the straight and narrow.
Right.
And
she's worth it to keep that restraint, and she's family.
Right. And now,
fucking Desmond.
Now he's going to be on his own again.
That's a shame. And I'm curious to see if any of that plays out in the next episode a little bit.
Yeah, is he going to slip? Like what's going to happen?
I want to see if there's any interaction between Elizabeth and Benny before he really, really leaves, or do you think he's really?
I don't know. She just saw him rip out a guy's throat. Like by the time
that's really traumatic.
That might be too traumatic for her.
Then we see Sam. He is driving fast in that station wagon to get to Amelia. But we get another flashback. This is when Sam is telling Amelia that he's leaving. She and Dawn deserve a chance, just like she gave him a chance. And Sam tells her that she saved him. That's that. He takes off.
And she did not seem happy about that.
She did not, no.
So yet again, I don't think she wants to be with Dawn. I think she feels guilty about that. And I think that, yes, she probably does need to be alone for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not like that Sam was saying he deserves a chance. She, not once has she seemed happy about the fact that he could potentially be a part of her life again.
Yeah.
Not once.
So maybe she was like, probably like, hey, fight for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
She seemed happiest whenever he said, you and I are what's right. Mm-hmm. In fact, she brought that up during this fight. Like, what happened to earlier today? But here's the problem. If you're not happy with your husband, then go break up with your husband and don't be with your husband.
Correct.
You shouldn't need somebody else to want to be with you in order to do that.
Correct.
And that's what bothers me, because we find out later in this episode that sure enough, she took him back.
Well, and once again, like, that's where the timeline, I would like to know when that happened, that Sam told her that, to this time where we're seeing her happy-go-lucky on the couch having a beer with Dawn.
Well, not only that, but the scene where we see him packing up and leaving, they aren't in bed sleeping together. So he came back at least once, because again, the season premiere.
Oh yeah, well I said it looks like maybe he leaves her twice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks like he comes back and then leaves again.
Oh.
Yeah, yikes.
However, now that the nest is gone, the husband's taken care of, Benny knows he has to leave. He's watching his sweet granddaughter for the last time from outside the diner. Dean tells him it's time to go, and Benny thanks him for, not giving up on him.
Yeah.
And Dean says, thanks for not giving me a reason to.
Yeah.
Which is so sweet. Like, they have such a good brotherly friendship relationship.
I mean, they are brothers. They're brothers in arms. They really are.
I do feel bad for Sam to be a little jelly of that relationship,
Mm-hmm.
Dean calls Martin to tell him it's over. And this whole scene, I was just thinking, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah, Martin
was creepy.
He was acting really weird. Yeah, whenever he was walking down the road, it's like you knew it wasn't over. I didn't know what was coming next, but you knew it wasn't over. He was acting weird.
But yeah, he's just walking along this like old road by himself in the dark, talking to Dean, and he says, "Oh, cool, it's over. Yeah, well, that's good news, and I'm also really long gone. I'm long gone too." Mm-hmm. So you're thinking, "Oh, okay, oh, cool, he's gone." No, he's not gone.
He meant mentally.
Yeah. And next we see Benny getting a call from Elizabeth's phone. Benny's on his way out of town, heading somewhere else. But then we see it's not Elizabeth that called him. Mm-mm. We see it is Martin eating a cherry pie at the diner. Well, not the diner, at the Cajun
I did
restaurant.
not need close-ups of his mouth like that.
Yeah, I didn't either. And the unnecessary wrist grab when she came to get his plate.
I think they were just emphasizing like he's not.
I know, but
yeah. It helped that y'all made me real uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. In so many ways.
It worked.
Yeah. So Benny, of course, turns around. He shows up to the restaurant. It's all dark. And Martin has Elizabeth in a chair and a knife behind her, a knife to her throat. And he's just taunting Benny and poor Elizabeth. She's terrified, keeps asking Roy what's going on. And then Martin reveals that his name's Benny. He cuts Elizabeth's throat right over her jugular, by the way. That I was like, holy shit. If that was me, I would have looked down to be like, am I bleeding to death? Mm-hmm. And of course, in that moment, Benny turns around as Martin is just shouting, look at that, dilated pupils, that hunger in his eyes. And he turns around, thankfully, so she doesn't see his fangs come out. Mm-hmm. And because he's a good grandfather.
Yeah.
Once again, he puts it in check and controls it. Like, yes, it comes out and he has that instinct. That takes a lot. It's like an addict, mm-hmm. To like turn all of that down. So I commend Benny. As Martin's, spouting out the mouth, he reveals Elizabeth's connection to Benny, that it's her great grandpappy, he says. That's where I got confused because I was like, I swear he said great grandpappy, but he's nuts, so can't really. And Benny's just said, like, what do you want? Like, what, leave. You don't need to do this. And
poor Elizabeth. She's just so confused.
Oh, my God.
And
can
terrified.
You imagine?
Oh.
And, I mean, I don't know, because he said it, you're a great lost grandpappy. So, obviously, he went missing or something. There's a mystery there that her family doesn't know where he went.
Right.
So to learn that and then think, well, he's standing right there in front of you, but also like, how the hell is he standing right there?
Who knows? What if Elizabeth has always thought he's looked kind of familiar? Like he probably looks like somebody else in her family and all this other stuff. So maybe for her, that was like a what the fuck kind of moment.
So after Benny asks what Martin wants, and Martin says, of course, your head on a stake. And Benny.
I teared up.
I know. I was like, no.
I didn't cry, but I teared up. I teared up. Like, he just goes and lays his head. He literally put it on a plate for him. Put it on a platter.
Yeah, he just basically said, okay, here I am. And sweet Elizabeth is saying, no, Roy, no.
I'm tearing up again. I know it didn't happen, but it just was so sad.
But just the way he offered up his neck to Martin, and Martin he had a machete thing, starts to go for it. She screams, and it just, the slice sounds, and it goes to black.
It cuts away,
Yeah. We do see Sam. This is not a flashback, but it is actually Sam right now at Amelia's, at the house they had together. He's like got his gun out, like thinking she's in some kind of turmoil, danger. And he goes up to the window, and she's just bringing a beer over to Dawn. They're curled up on the couch. Sam just kind of watches for a second, then gets back in the station wagon, drives away. And we see Dean driving, gets a call from Elizabeth. Poor Elizabeth is covered in blood, and she is terrified. And she's basically saying, you told me to call you if I saw Roy again. And he says, yeah, he's there. And she says, just come. He immediately turns around, because that
was a cool shot. That was a cool little
Dean.
Yeah.
Doing it, fishtailing at the same time. She's on the porch sitting there waiting for him.
That was a cool shot. The headlights coming up. I wouldn't have been able to sit there like that. My eyes would have been you and I,
not your
with
eyes,
our green and blue eyes. You and I wouldn't have been able to do it. But
I was almost like, he needs to stop. I would have been like backing up onto the porch.
It was cool though. It looked cool.
It was bright lights, and she was right in the center of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dean walks up, and she doesn't even say a word. She just like points behind her, and he gives her a handkerchief. To me, I would have been like, is this clean? Has this been laundered? But
no, I used it to wipe some dead man's blood off my hands earlier, and then I rubbed it on my neck, and it's magic because look, like my neck's fine. Yeah. Yours will be fine in the next scene as well.
I need one of those.
Right?
He walks into the restaurant, and it's a mess. Tables turned over, chairs everywhere. He turns a little bit of the corner around the bar, and Martin is on the floor, bloodied, dead to death. Dead to death.
And that's when we were like, we are never going to find out what happened in Albuquerque.
Yep. Then we go to Sam, and Sam is at a bar alone, and he's staring at that text he got from Amelia. He calls the number back, which I'm like, didn't he call the number back before?
Like Dean must have either been out of signal or turned the phone off.
Yes.
Until he didn't need Sam to be distracted anymore.
So he calls it back, and sure enough, we see Dean in the Impala, hearing the ringing, opens the glove box, and answers the phone. And Sam's all, oh, cool,
Thanks.
Way to get me out of the way, use a burner phone to triangulate her number or whatever it was, however he did it. No,
he just went in Sam's phone and changed the number contact.
Okay. Well, I thought it was way more complicated.
To Amelia. And then the fact that Dean said that he did it a while back. I was like, damn.
I mean, I got to give him props.
Yeah, I got to admit, Sam has been talking for a while that he was going to try and kill Benny. So I bet you the first time Sam said that is when he did it.
Yeah. I mean, I figured he was probably like, I'll handle Martin, but I got to get Sam the fuck out of the way. Yeah, so Dean says it was the only way to get you to lay off, and it's over. Sam asks if there were any casualties. He tells him about Martin, and Sam is pissed. So he finishes the phone call, takes a shot, puts some money down on the bar, and turns around to leave. But lo and behold, who's there? But Amelia.
Amelia.
This episode was written by Daniel Laughlin and directed by Nick Kopus, another one and only director.
All right. Well, gore. The goriest thing were the dead bodies, I think.
Yeah.
We just were seeing throats ripped out. We were actually talking. There was an episode recently where there was a decapitation, and like at the end of the episode, we were like, there wasn't really any gore. And so we were talking about how we've kind of become desensitized to the decapitations. But I guess the decapitation of Desmond was pretty gory in the sense that it was a really cool head getting cut off. It's just there was no blood and guts and stuff.
Yeah.
The only blood and guts we saw was when we saw people's throats ripped open.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
For a vampire episode, it wasn't as gory as it could have been.
Right. Or no splooges.
No splooges.
Yeah.
It was a much more character-heavy episode, though. So
yeah.
That makes sense. Did you adore anything about this episode?
Well, I figure you probably adore Benny being back.
You didn't?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, what?
But I just know you love him so much, so I was excited that he was back for
Yes. I was happy to see Benny. I love him. I'll come with.
I also thought like that he went back and found his great-granddaughter was very sweet.
That he went and got some family roots.
Yeah.
He said he went back and got his old job. So he worked at that diner before he got turned. So that diner has to be at least 50 years old.
Wow.
That's cute. It was very cute. And I adored Martin on the first half of the episode.
Yeah.
Like when we first got Martin, he was fun and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But then he started to piss me off, which leads us into the lore. So today's lore, we're doing another throwback for our lore. We're going to be talking about vampire hunters. And when we talked about that lore in this episode, we got pissed off at those vampire hunters too. In fact, we specifically are telling them, leave those vampires alone. And just like that, Martin, you leave Benny alone.
Yeah.
This is from season 2, episode 3, Bloodlust.
Well, I got some lore on good old vampire hunters.
Yay!
Professional or semi-professional vampire hunters played some part in the vampire beliefs of the Balkans, especially in Bulgarian, Serbian, and Romanian folk beliefs. And I thought this was weird. I had never heard this before, that they're usually born on a Saturday, and they were called Sabbatarians.
Huh.
Or they're the offspring of a vampire and a woman called a Dampir in Romanian or Vampirovic in Serbian.
So you could either be born on a Saturday or your daddy could be a vampire.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was also believed that someone born on a Saturday could see a vampire when it was otherwise invisible. So, like, I guess just anybody born on a Saturday had the sight.
I was born on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. One day.
I was born on a Tuesday. How lame. So back to the Sabbatarians, it was believed that in some places they needed to be fed meat from a sheep killed by a wolf.
How'd you set that up?
Exactly.
Did you just save the sheep that were killed by a wolf? Did you keep a wolf on handy to kill a sheep when you needed one?
I don't know.
Huh.
But it would enable them to not fear things that they were only able to see.
Oh, so like the invisible vampires.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, in the Croatian and Slovenian legends, the villages had their own vampire hunters that were called kresniks. Ooh. And their spirits were able to turn into animals at night and fight off the vampire or kulak.
Skinwalkers.
Yeah. The weapons they usually had on them were a mallet, a stake, a crucifix, holy water, holy oil.
Oh.
Ropes, crowbars, pistols. So those were their weapons of choice. And the most famous one that we know came from Austrian army surgeon Johann Fluckinger.
Okay.
Fluckinger. Flukinger, maybe. I don't know. But the doctor described a case of Arnold Paole, a soldier and alleged vampire victim from a Serbian village. And to banish vestiges of the vampire, Paole ate dirt from its grave and smeared himself with its blood. And then he returned to his life as a farmer, but soon died in a hay wagon accident. That's what got him.
Got it.
But about a month after his death, villagers claimed that Paole had risen from the dead and killed several people. Animals and livestock were also attacked and drained of their blood.
Damn.
Suspecting vampirism, The villagers exhumed Paola's body. They found it intact, even the nails had grown. Fresh blood covered the inside of the coffin, and the villagers drove a stake through his heart, and he gave an audible groan and bled copiously. And the bodies of other villagers thought to have been also transformed into vampires were disinterred and maimed in an attempt to kill them for good. Which, I mean, now we know why all that would have happened, you know? With
Right.
a dead body.
Yeah, back then they didn't know. So it was a whole town of vampire hunters that went and slayed the beast.
Right. The Travel Channel has a show that is called Vampires in America. And it features these guys that believe they are actually vampire hunters. And
don't let them go to New Orleans where Malcor wasn't that one of their names?
Oh, I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. They found a nice little peaceful society like Lenore and them.
Right.
They aren't hurting anybody.
And in this article, the person says, I wish with all my heart to believe that this was a mockumentary, but I absolutely buy that there are people this nuts. And they say it's a 100% logical leap from a rise in homicides and missing person cases to, oh, it must be vampires.
100%.
Not crime, not guns, not serial killers. Definitely magical creatures who suck blood from their victims.
Were these two guys fans of Supernatural?
Right. Probably. I kind of want to see it, but I kind of don't. I'll just leave that out there if anybody wants to go check that out.
What's it called again? You're making all these faces as you're reading stuff, but you're not telling me what you're reading.
Well, it's like, okay, so their names, it's two guys, one named Eric Strait and Marcel von Tingen. I bet he made that name up. Strait tells us that his encounter with a vampire was in Scotland. Well-dressed, mesmerizing. He felt drawn to it. But as he was being drawn, there was a sense of dread.
Of course.
Yeah.
So they've both had vampire encounters before.
I guess
that's
so,
why they do this? Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So then the vampire growled, and that broke his spell. He wasn't so drawn to him anymore.
Oh.
The two guys have been working together since 2001 and found evidence in all 50 states. There's a video of them partying in 2020 during the pandemic.
Okay.
Then we learned that they're the two only vampire hunters working in the United States.
Okay, so I'm thinking about this vampire experience. So it was a hot, really nicely dressed man that growled at him. But he was really drawn to him before that.
Exactly.
Like, maybe you're just bisexual.
Right.
Maybe
he's gay. Just gay.
Or maybe you're gay. Maybe he was just really fucking
hot.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
And knew how to dress well. And you were drawn to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he growled at you, but I don't know that I blame him.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's the name of this show again?
Vampires in America on the Travel Channel.
And it's the only two vampire hunters in the entire
They're the
country.
Experts.
Covering all 50 states.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ground.
Yeah, so everybody watch out because they're here. Vampires are real. They are in every state, and we only have two guys hunting them.
Hey, you already told us about vampires, and they are harmless based off of what I heard.
Yeah, Lenora said she's not going to eat me.
Yeah, they're like, Lenore, leave them alone.
Yeah. Good luck to him, to Strait and Von Tingen. Made up name. Strait claims that vampires have been involved in the vampire fiction that's put out so that they could hide in plain sight. So apparently Bram Stoker was taking dictation from a vampire.
Bram Stoker did have like a forward message or something in his book originally that said he was basically trying to get people to believe that this was real.
Yeah.
I don't remember the details of it.
These guys bought it.
Over on the Tipsy Exchange, we did a couple of episodes about vampires, and that was one of the things I found out about Bram Stoker, that he originally wanted people to believe it was real, not a work of fiction. And these guys are like, yeah.
They believe it. And they also believe that they are hominids.
Oh.
But a different species than human and evolved around 68,000 BC. That's very specific. And then von Tingen claims that they've been in America since the Civil War and that there are 20,000 nationwide. Good luck to them finding all 20,000 of them in all 50 states.
Do they know about the Atlantic Vampiric Society?
Oh, I don't
remember.
I'm sure they do.
I'm just kidding. Leave them alone. Leave those vampires alone.
Well, quote to close it out is from Benny. And he says, I know it's hard to believe, but I haven't always been this cute and cuddly.
Oh, cute.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for listening to Denim-wrapped Nightmares.
Follow us on Twitter or Instagram, leave a review, and let us know how we can get involved in the fandom.
This was fun. Jerk.
It always is, bitch.